No American president has been so associated with appreciation and conservation of the natural treasures of the wilderness and its creatures than the 26th. Being a man of his time, when he left the White House to spend a year on a big game safari in Africa, he carried a rifle. Being a naturalist, he also took a camera. As a visionary and pioneer conservationist, he declared, "More and more, as it becomes necessary to preserve the game, let us hope that the camera will largely supplant the rifle." A prolific author, he recorded the experience in both illuminating detail and humor. The rhinoceros, he pointed out, are truculent, blustering beasts, much the most stupid of all the dangerous game I know. When confronted by one of the lumbering animals, he was not sure if it was preparing to charge him or make a retreat. "I am not a rhinoceros mind reader," he wrote, "and its actions were such as to warrant my regarding it as a suspicious character." When it chose to attack, Roosevelt had no recourse but to shoot it. In an earlier volume on his hunting experiences in the American wilderness, the animal that came at him was a grizzly bear. 24 years old and on his first trip into the Rockies, he sighted it unexpectedly. He fired a shot, but only wounded it in the flank. With a harsh roar of fury and challenge, blowing the bloody foam from his mouth, and bearing gleaming white fangs, the bear charged, crashing and bounding through the laurel bushes. Hit again and again, the bear came steadily on. Leaping aside, Roosevelt saw a huge paw make a vicious blow close to his head. The rush of the charge carried the grizzly past him. Felled by the last of Roosevelt's cartridges, leaving a pool of bright blood where his muzzle hit the ground, the bear recovered enough to make 2 or 3 jumps forward before collapsing and rolling over and over like a shot rabbit. Recalling an elk hunting trip in the Bighorn Mountains, Roosevelt reported discovering a grizzly bear's huge, half-human footprints. Alone in the silent, lonely woods, he gazed down at the unmistakable proof that I was in the home of the mighty lord of the wilderness. Tracking the prints the next day in the company of other hunters, he found the grizzly in a breastwork of fallen logs in a tangled thicket. The animal stood not 10 steps off. As the bear slowly rose from its bed among the young spruces, with shaggy hair seeming to bristle, it turned toward the intruders. When it sank down on its 4 feet, Roosevelt raised his rifle and saw the grizzly's great head bent slightly down. Aiming between the small, glittering evil eyes, he pulled the trigger. Half rising, the grizzly fell over on his side, dead. "The whole thing was over in 20 seconds from the time I caught sight of the game," Roosevelt wrote. Indeed, it was over so quickly that the grizzly did not have time to show fight at all or come a step toward us. Standing by the great brindled bulk which lay out in the cool shade of the evergreens, he felt not a little proud. In recounting this skill in a book titled Hunting Trips of a Ranchman, Roosevelt could not resist an opportunity to educate his readers by pointing out, "The name of this bear has reference to its character and not to its color, and should, I suppose, be properly spelt Grisly, in the sense of horrible, exactly as we speak of a grisly specter, and not Grizzly. But perhaps the latter way of spelling it is too well established by now." He also noted that a grizzly's brain is about the size of a pint bottle, and that its coarse and not well-flavored flesh did not provide a tasty meal. The meat of a black bear, he instructed, was much better. Comparing the black bear to the grizzly, Roosevelt found the former to be not usually a formidable opponent, and though he will sometimes charge home, he is much more apt to bluster and bully than actually to come to close quarters. I myself have shot 1 or 2 black bears, and these were obtained under circumstances of no special interest, as I merely stumbled on them while after other game, and killed them before they had a chance either to run or show fight.